Good morning. They say the early bird gets the worm. We'll see. We'll also see if today's our payoff day. I'll fill you in on the water. Let's get to fishing. A couple reasons this may be the payoff day. Number one, we had our first warm night last night in quite a while. I think it got to a low of about 50. We've had pretty stable water here. This lake is really affected by the rain. But the water's been warming up, and we have a high of 70, 72 degrees today. So the water, the surface temp of the water will hit its highest temp today, to date for the year. Here yesterday, and we caught 3, which is pretty meager. We lost a really, really big fish. And the reason I feel like maybe today's payoff day is that the one thing we did gain yesterday is I'm pretty sure I've zeroed in on the depth. All 3 fish yesterday came at about 3.5, 4 feet of water. Right, there's a little break line there, and the weed line starts there. I think the fish are the active catchable fish that I'm looking for are going to be in 3.5 feet and shallower. For me personally, it takes a while to get to know a lake. Now, if we do get a payoff, if we do run into these fish pre-spawn, and we get a lot of them and some good size, that's something that we'll always have in our back pocket. That's why I've been putting so much work into this lake. I want the payoff, not just for a great day of fishing, but I want the payoff so I have this lake in my back pocket pre-spawn. It's something I'll have forever. So that's our goal today, and that's our quick update. Whoops. Okay. Well, look at that chunky guy. Wow. He actually has a little bit of color to him too. The other bass I've caught on these prior trips were real white. They didn't even have any green on the back. So that fish came on a chatterbait. We're fishing a little shallower than 3.5 feet. Let me just get this slug off him. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Fish number 1 today. Let's hope there's more where that came from. Fishing a little shallower than 3.5 right now in an area that has a lot of weeds, shallower than 3 feet. And that's our first bass of the day. Let's get some more. Bass number 2, folks. We're reeling this 3/8 ounce chatterbait really, really slow over these weeds with a really healthy fish. Really slow over the tops of these weeds. And that slower speed this morning seems to be the ticket. There's one. saw, there I'm really ripping through these weeds, and they're hitting it on the rips. Number 3. Oh, we got a big one. Here we go, folks. Get a weight on this guy. .7. Starting to look like the payoff day. That's number 5. Okay, we have 5 fish by 8 a.m. So the early bird does get the worm. And we're gonna stick with this 3/8 ounce chatterbait and fish it just a little bit shallower than we were fishing the A-rig. We were fishing the A-rig in about 3.5 feet, just on the break line on the outside edge of the weed line. And the weeds that are in 2.5 to 3 feet are really, really mossy. I did try a jerk bait and a swim bait through them, and the blade on this chatterbait really helps cut through them and rip through them. So we're gonna just stick with this. We do not have a bass here. We have a beautiful walleye. My first walleye in this lake. Missing an eye. Okay, midday update. We caught 5 bass by 8 a.m. and we haven't caught a bass since. Sun came up and the lake has been glass, 0 wind. We did get the walleye around 10:30, but it clearly slowed down dramatically. I went back to the original spot, nothing. So when I can tell the fish are turned off, and they can turn on and off a couple times a day, sometimes more in the spring, but the fish clearly turned off. So I went driving around at 3.5, 3 feet through a lot of the lake that I've never explored, just looking for the same kind of thing, those really, really thick weeds. And I covered a lot of ground, and I marked some areas, some more areas to fish today. And now the wind finally kicked up, so hopefully this makes a difference. bit of a net fail. And just like that, with the weather change, fish start biting again. Look at the color on this guy. I think that warm weather's really getting them active. Nice and green. Well, we have to call it an early day. I have other commitments. It's about 2 o'clock. Would we call this payday? I don't know. We caught 7 bass. We caught some real quality bass. We caught a 4.7. We got lucky this morning when they were active to be in the right place. And then the wind died on us. I suspect there was a morning movement, and I suspect there'll be an afternoon, late afternoon movement, especially with this wind picking up. So if we stuck it out for the full day, we could probably get a few more this afternoon. But overall, I'm going to say it was a success. Number one, we had fun. Number two, we zoned in on the fish. I think the lake is just about ready to go. I don't think it's quite at full speed pre-spawn, but I think it is going to be pretty soon here, and I'll keep coming back and take some friends and some kids and hopefully catch some nice bass this spring.